Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss about power system analysis. In this class, we will go to discuss about power system components, then what is the need for analysis, then structure of modern power system. First of all, what is meant by power system? Power system is the combined operations of generating stations, transmission lines, and distribution systems. What is generating stations? Here, so many synchronous generators are connected in parallel. The generating stations examples of thermal station, hydroelectric stations, nuclear power stations, windmills, solar stations, etc. Then transmission lines and distribution lines are say, a lengthy corridor conductors. So the power system components are generators, transformers, transmission lines, distribution lines, bus bars, compensators, then protective devices. The generator station main component is the synchronous generators. Transformer, the power transformers, this may be a step-up transformer or step-down transformers. Then transmission lines are three conductors, double circuit, triple circuit transmission lines. Then distribution lines are three conductor primary distribution lines are three conductors lines. Then secondary distribution lines are four conductors lines. Bus bars, here the incoming lines and the outgoing lines are taken from the bus bars. Here the voltage ratings are constants. Then compensators, so many type of compensators are connected. The capacitor banks, inductor banks, then voltage compensators like var compensators, reactive power compensators, then static synchronous compensators, etc. The protective devices like relays with circuit breakers. Different types of circuit breakers are connected. Then another more components also, small components are available in the power stations. Then what is the need for power system analysis? It's very important. We are analyzing the power system. The very important point is for designing a new power system, the power system analysis must be important. For example, I have to design one house or build one house. Before going to start our construction, we put a plan for the house. After that, we construct a house. Similarly, here in power system, for design a new power system, planning is important. So that only you construct a suitable power system. This must be satisfy the demand of the consumers. The demand must be equal to real power generation. For reliability of operation, the real power generation is greater than the total demand. It's important. It satisfies the condition. Then second point, for future expanding the power system, the existing power system, we are expanding the future power system, the analysis is important. Then periodic maintenance also required for each components in the power systems. So, so many components are available. The interconnected components are more than 1,000 components, means each and every components are maintained in the particular time. The schedule is very important. Then fourth point is monitoring the power system voltage, monitoring the power system voltages, real powers, reactive powers, and each and every time for controlling operations. Then fifth one is calculating the fault current. Suppose the fault occurring in any one of the bus or any transmission lines or any components, what about the fault current in the line or in the component? So that only we have to design a suitable protective device for the particular component. The last one is the stability analysis. important. Here the stability is transient stability. Transient stability, sudden disturbances like lightning and overload. That time, what about the power system reaction, or what is the characteristics of the power system? That can be studied by using the stability analysis. Also here is studied the small disturbance stability analysis. For planning and operation of power system, the following constructions, some calculations are very important. The important calculations are, first calculation is here, calculate and draw the reactance diagram. Then second one, from the reactance diagram, form the Y bus matrix and also calculate the Z bus matrix. Then third one is the load flow analysis or power flow analysis. The load flow analysis and power flow analysis are carried out by using Gauss-Seidel methods, Newton-Raphson method, or fast decoupled power flow methods. Then fourth one is short circuit analysis. That another name of short circuit analysis, fault analysis. Then finally stability analysis. These calculations are must required in the power system for best operations. Now we have to discuss about the structure of modern power system. The modern power system consists of generating stations, transmission lines, and distribution system. All the power system may not have all the components. Some small power system only have the generating stations and the distribution system. Some other power system may not have the distribution system. It's only have generating stations and transmission lines, then directly from the transmission lines to another substation. So many synchronous generators, number of synchronous generators are connected in parallel. The generated voltage levels are 6.6 kilovolt, 11 kilovolt, 33 kilovolt, etc. Okay. Here the most adopted value is 11 kilovolt in India. Here the 11 kilovolt is immediately stepped up by using step up transformer. The step up transformer is installed in the sending end substation. The step up transformer step up the 11 kilovolt into higher voltages. The higher voltage are, for example, 33 kilovolt or 66 kilovolt, 132 kilovolt or 110 kilovolt, 400 kilovolt or higher, very high kilovolt, 765 kilovolt or extra high voltages, that is 1000 kilovolts, 1000 kilovolts or higher. Okay. Then the purpose of the sending end substation. What is the purpose of this sending end substation? For transmitting the voltage, transmitting the power from the generating station to receiving end substation, you step up the voltage level into higher value, because to reduce the transmission losses. Transmission loss formula is I square R losses. Here for constant power transmission, the voltage value increases means the current value automatically decreased. Power formula P is equal to V into I. In case of unit power factor, P is equal to V into I. Here the voltage value increases, automatically current value decreases in case of constant power transmissions. So that the loss formula is I square into R. Here the current value automatically decreases, the resistance of the transmission line is constant. So the transmission loss is completely reduced, so that the transmission loss is reduced. Then the sending end substation voltage is given to primary transmission line. The primary transmission is a lengthy corridor lines. Here 3-phase 3-conductor lines are used. Here a double circuit, depending upon the power ratings, maybe double circuit, triple circuit or higher circuit with bundle conductors are used. Here after that, the primary substation voltage is given to receiving end substation. Here in receiving end substation is the receiving end substation consists of the step down transformer. The step down transformer step down the higher voltage into lower voltage. For example, is convert the 400 voltage or 765 voltage into 220 kilovolt or 33 kilovolt or 66 kilovolt. After that, this 666 kilovolt is given to secondary transmission system. The secondary transmission system also three-phase, three-wire system. Here the transmitted voltage levels are 220 kilovolt or 33 kilovolt or 66 kilovolt. This is also lengthy corridor lines. This transmission lines, secondary transmission lines connects the receiving end substation and the secondary substations. The secondary substations also a step down transformer. Here in the secondary substation, the voltage levels are again step down into 33 kilovolt or 11 kilovolt or 6.6 kilovolt. Here from the secondary substations to the power is given to large big consumers directly. For example, it's directly given to large industries. Then for again this power is step down for primary transmission purposes. The secondary transmission power is again given to primary transmission line. Here the primary transmitted voltage levels are 6.6 kilovolt, 11 kilovolt or 33 kilovolt. This primary distribution line connects the secondary substation and the distribution station. Here in distribution station, it's also consists of a distribution transformer. A distribution transformer convert the 11 kilovolt into 400 volt for three-phase system, then 230 volt for single phase system. That is line to line voltage 400 volt, line to neutral voltage is 230 volt. This much of voltage is given to small consumers like our houses. We require the 400 volt or 230 volt. Here the secondary distribution also consists of distributors, service mains and feeders. Then what is mean by feeders? Feeder is a conductor which connects the distribution substation and the distributor points. Okay, here though no tappings are taken from the feeders. Then distributors. Here the number of tappings are taken from the distributors. So current in the distributor is not uniform, but in the feeder the current is uniform. Then service mains are the flexible wires that connects the distributor line to consumer terminals. Finally, the secondary distribution. The secondary distribution consists of feeder, distributors and service main. Feeder, the current values are same. Distributors, so many tappings are taken, so current value is different. Then service mains is a flexible wire which connects the distributor point to consumer terminals. So this class we have to discuss the basic structure of power system, then various components and its need of power system analysis. The next class we will go to discuss single line diagram, per unit value, modeling of power system components, impedance diagram, reactance diagram, steps to draw